Is up, boys and girls, ladies and gentlemen, day traders, cloud swing traders. Hope you guys are doing absolutely fantastic. You guys got you piling in bright and early. We got Amy now. Good morning to you, Bill, Cheryl, Cindy, Diane. Good morning to you, Drake, Frank, Jay, Jeff. We got Joe, Lou. Good morning. We got Marius, Martina, Matthew, Micus, Tim. Good morning to all you guys. All my peeps out in YouTube land. Good morning to Leonard, Morimar. Good morning. We got Sandeep. Good morning to all my lurkers in the background. They're just not going to comment. That's okay. I still love you. That's okay. I still love you. Hit that like and subscribe button, and we'll take it from there. Let me know what tickers you guys want to look at. Cheryl says zooming. Too late. MDL, what's that? Mundell's thinking about doing anything. We'll see. We'll see. We'll pull him up. But we talked about this in the swing room. So number one, in the swing room, I gave a little survey. Just I was like, do you guys think we're bullish or bearish? I don't know. Most of the people came in bullish. They're like, hey, I think we're a little bullish. There's two dissenters going, hey, we're going bearish. Yeah, we're still bullish, I think, but I think it's time to have a little caution. We'll see. So kind of the game plan that we talked about last night was if we could get back to somewhere around this zone. I don't know if we have a winning trade, but we do get some risk reward, right? So if we're going, hey, I'm going to buy some puts or get some shorts or whatever the case, this is probably the time to do it right out of the gate, right out of the morning. And we'll get to Jackson Hole in a bit. But if we start breaking the highs of yesterday's candle, I mean, realistically, if we start getting much higher than probably even the close of 2 days ago, that candle, those are spots I'd start being concerned and like, okay, maybe we could break and maybe get some calls just to counteract just in case. But this is the spot I think where we're opening that should be good resistance for today. I wouldn't say fear and panic yesterday is the correct words, but that wasn't a great close, right? That was a definite bearish engulfing candle. We closed under all those VPOCs, so anywhere the support should be, actually getting above some of those levels is actually pretty impressive already for the bulls to hop in. But we are rallying a little bit today. If we break the highs of yesterday's candle, I think that will set us up for new all-time highs. So we'll see what happens there. Uh, but yeah, this is a spot I think I'm going to at open today. This should be the bearish engulfing candle. This should be the breakdown. This should be the retest at open. And I would be looking actually a little bit bearish. That all being said, I have no idea what I'm talking about. I'm clueless. We'll see. We'll see. Because then we got Jackson Hole, Jerome Powell coming out later today. And buying some puts here right now out of the gate sounds like a great idea to me. It sounds terrific. That sounds like some good spot to get some protection. I don't know what Jerome Powell is going to say. I don't think it's going to be anything too crazy, but uh, it all depends on how the market wants to take it, and he might be able to just already push us up, and we take the loss on some of those puts. So be it. Those puts, by the way, when I take it out, I'm not buying 0-day ops expiration that expires today. I'm going to give it some time on those puts just in case. Let this thing play out. But as soon as we start crossing above there, I will sell it, and whatever the loss is, the loss is. Right. So that's what I'm looking to do right out of the gate. We'll have a lot more information. I think he starts at 10 a.m. today. So we'll see. We'll see how this wants to play out. But and I'm not sure how long that meeting is going to be too. My guess is they usually start with some kind of a speech. Market might get a little jumpy on his speech, but the real movement probably comes when he gets questions. So he should be, I think, taking questions today, and we'll see what happens on that one. I'll load up on puts for you, Eminem. I don't know what that means. Are you talking to me? Am I Eminem? Am I Slim Shady? I don't know. I am standing up. But we'll see what happens. But be careful at open. This is obviously a bullish gap and go, but we are into a little bit of resistance. Q's kind of the same look, so at least for the Q's though. So SPY got a below a bunch of really good support. Q is kind of just all just retrace back into that support zone. So that is a good support for the Qs. I think we have some resistance right up here. So that high end of the range, I would be looking for something around 481.56. We'll see. But that's again, that's a spot where I don't know if the trade works. I wish I knew every single trade if I got into where it's like 100%, this is definitely working. Unfortunately, I'm just not that good. But I could tell you a good risk reward. We start breaking above yesterday's candle. I think we're off to the races. Bulls get a firm control of this market. You're risking very little to potentially have a decent win, decent pullback. So that's what I am looking to do today at open. And I think I forget who it was. Maybe it was Jeff. Remember when Powell dropped the? Oh yeah, yeah, and the mics were he still had some hot mics. Yeah, I would love to just talk to Jerome Powell when there's no cameras. I think he's wild. I think he's probably just wild. Oh, Matt Mitchell's Eminem. Okay, got you. Uh-huh. You threw me off because you spelt it exactly like Eminem, the hip hop superstar. I don't know, the Detroit guy, Michigan. Um, but yeah, Q's. I think we're opening in a very sensitive zone for both SPY and Q's. I don't know. I think this for anybody that did not have any protection or was kind of just still looking for that balance yesterday. I think this does give them the opportunity to protect themselves a little bit. We will see. We will see. Let's take a look at some of the companies that you guys looked at. Can I get some puts, please? Let's see. We got Zoom. So let's take a look real quick at Zoom. ZM. Quite the day. Coming off of earnings. I didn't see this one. Yeah, if you're going bullish, you're probably too late. Hmm. That being said, I don't know if it goes higher from here. It might, right? So I don't know. We could look at this thing going, okay, by the end of today, it's $100. I have no idea. But what I do know is historically, uh, let's say you were to take this win, essentially you're training yourself to chase and take FOMO plays. Where if you take this one and you absolutely crush it and it wins, fantastic. But you're also training yourself to do that over and over and over again. Where I think in the long run, chasing doesn't pay the bills. So be very careful here. We are into a pretty decent resistance zone. That was a quite the move yesterday as the market was just kind of selling off a little bit. But if we get anywhere above 69.12, we get some candles to close above that. Um, I would still need some kind of sideways chop. A lot of times after these moves, and if you see some of the other ones from earnings, I take Nike for example. So big move on Nike, Starbucks probably the same thing. You should at least look for a couple days of just sideways chop on some of these because anybody that got in from essentially any of this zone to go bullish, they're starting to be profitable. And the higher we go, if you're buying it here, you're buying other people's profits essentially. So it does have some room. I think it's good to watch. I would say give me a couple more days of some sideways chop. Maybe give me some kind of retest of this candle. Keep in mind we are far from those moving averages. What I do like on this one is we are above 67.60. So let's see if we can stay above that. That is my higher volume zone. And let's if you're going to buy it, at least wait for that. But I think I need some time on this one. I need some time. MDLZ. Oh, put a space in there for some reason. I don't know. Mandela's International. Uh, this one, I don't see pre-market pricing anywhere, so I'm guessing it's pretty much opening where it closed. So we don't have any edge as day traders. As a swing trader, maybe. I think if you start getting above probably this last pivot. So if you're trying to enter somewhere around 71.95, I don't think this boat left without you yet. This one looks pretty decent. You got all the moving averages below you. You are above the high volume. You've had here's very similar. It's not quite, but very similar. Here's your big move off of probably earnings. Yep, earnings down here. This was this did retest. This one's kind of hanging out, and then we had a whole bunch of days to kind of allow people to move their positions around. Mini double top. So again, I think if you're getting above the candle from 2 days ago, that would be a decent entry for a breakout. So if you want to add that to the swing trade list. For day trade, again, we're just kind of opening flat. I don't know if this one has a lot of volume. Not that it matters too much for swing trading, but for day trading, I would be just double check the volume on this one. But I don't think we have too much of an edge for right now. Maybe if this one wants to pull back, you get down to like 69.97, something like that. Bill says Amazon, AMZN. Amazon. It looks a lot like the SPY and Qs, except doesn't look quite as strong. If it was as strong, you'd probably have this gap up to about 179.87. So first resistance on this one, I think, is going to be about 178.44. $178.44. That's going to be your next resistance. If you get above that, I'd be worried about 180. So I think we still have a little bit of just more chopping here. First support that you're going to want to see hold is about 177.27. And then if we're taking this down a little bit further, 176.25. That would be your support. I think we start breaking underneath yesterday's candle. You got a lot more room down to this 170 zone. So probably a little bit of chop on Amazon. It is a bullish gap and go, but so is the rest of the market as well. Let me see what else we got. Got Amazon. I think you guys got JP Morgan. JP Morgan. Morgan, and Morgan. There's a healthy gap. Amazon, Target, JP Morgan, and more. CNBC's final trade. Did you guys just give me the list for the CNBC final trades? The ones I looked at so far, that's just this list. I don't know. But yeah, that's a good gap. Is that all-time high? Gapping into almost all-time highs, very close to it. This is a retest gap. Let's see if we get a little pullback here. I'd be looking for like some kind of retest if you could get it around 216.37. But keep in mind, if you're going bullish, you are at all-time highs. So looks like it's trying to break out though. That was a very good close yesterday. Do got a little continuation gap up. Let's see if somebody wants to take some profits. And then for a day trade, I would be probably still sticking bullish, but I'm going to need that one to come down just a little bit, maybe $1-ish. But if you're in that one, it still looks good. And if you're in that one, I do think it goes higher from here over time as well. Kava, yeah, they had a nice little earnings report, good gap up. I think they finally turned profitable. I think they just made it to the profit zone. This is a one that I'll be cautious on. It most likely goes higher, but here's me chasing the highs again. This is a gap and go just based on the fact that it's a red candle, but even yesterday's candle did open slightly higher as a retest. We closed right at that previous VPOC. I don't know how much weight. I don't know how much bears are actually trapped in this one. I don't think that many. All of those people who bought are profitable on this gap. They managed to sit through this earnings report. They picked the right move. You're gapping up about just under 10%. I think this one probably acts a little bit more like a retest gap. Again, you're into all-time highs, so I got no resistance above me. But I think this one would be a little bit of a fade. People love Kava though. Like there's the Kava fan club. They make signs and t-shirts and stuff. It's crazy. So be careful because this is a retail loved stock for sure. It is pricey up here though. Yeah, they got that 10.5% short float. I don't know how many people are really getting squeezed, at least from yesterday though. So maybe you have you're high on this price, but 10%, 10.5% short float. If you are short, you're worried. Maybe that causes this thing to go higher. We'll put it on the list. I think this one comes down. I would love to see it lower. At least come in for a decent retest into yesterday's candle. That being said, it doesn't have to. 10.5% short float, no resistance above us. I think it's at least a fun one to watch. If I can try to play it bullish, I'll try to go with a squeeze. I'll try to play it, but probably not at the opening candle. And if I miss it, I miss it. Maybe we can look at some pre-market activity if there's a break in there. I'm definitely chasing this thing though. Makes me absolutely terrified. Um, Matthew says, "Hey DJ, how quickly will you buy puts this morning? It seems waiting for a few minutes after the open allows the price to stabilize a little more with option prices." Yeah, that is true. Spreads get smaller after a few minutes. So you could either go market buy, which is where you're going to be worried about spreads, or you're going to just probably throw out some kind of limit order, uh, which will get you the price that you want type deal. If you get I think if I could get a green, if I get a red candle out of the gate, I'll be a little more patient. Just wait for those numbers to come in, the spread to come in a little bit. But if I could get a uh bullish candle out of the gate, I'd probably be a little bit quicker. What is going on with? I'm trying to get into this broker. Oh, to try for my phone. I don't know what's going on with this one. You know what I can do? Let me exit out of this. Give me 1 second. 1 second. File, new window. Mm, there we go. There we go. And then when Santilla says we think Riot could run today. This is going to be a Jackson Hole play. I don't know if I would touch Riot, Mara, maybe even Coinbase. Coinbase might be slightly different, but I probably wouldn't touch these guys until Jackson Hole. If he comes out and he alludes anything to the effect of like a 50-point cut, something like that, he's just overly dovish. Yes, I agree. Anything interest rate sensitive, watch the IWM today. I think that would play into to that as well. Why are they not letting me log into the accounts? I want to get my hands on some puts. Can I do it from my cell phone today? That's rude. That's rude. Let's see. But yeah, for right now, it is a little bit of a gap up. You got a decent double bottom long-term basis, but until we start really breaking out of, I think resistance is somewhere around $8.30. So be careful on that one. Otherwise, that is quite the downtrend on right. And let's take a look real quick at Mara. I might actually be a little more excited about Mara. That had the same kind of downtrend to it too. Got a lot of moving averages. It's possibly, but they could possibly move, but you got some resistance ahead of you first. I don't think you have to be too focused on them at open, but maybe right around the Jackson Hole would be decent. You have a leap on Mara. Yeah, Mara's one of those things you could probably take a leap on. Again, you got a great double bottom on it. Give it some time to work because obviously what I'm saying now about Jackson Hole, probably by next Monday, people forget that Jackson Hole even happens. I don't. Everyone's putting so much weight on this Jackson Hole meeting. Everyone's like Jerome Powell, he's gonna save us or he's gonna tank us. I don't think he does anything. I think he shows up, shakes some hands, kisses some babies, and he's out of there. That's what I think. And then we're like, okay, well, guess we're waiting for the next report to come out. Tesla. Leonard says, Tesla, how would you day trade it? Let's see. Oh, I don't think I would. I don't think I would. Not here at this price. You have you have better risk to reward to the bull side, right? So I think if you're throwing some kind of a stop like 209.73, I think that's where you'd want to say, okay, stop me out. Then the price probably comes down to like 206.64. On the same note, even Amazon got a couple above a couple of those previous VPOCs. Tesla still has a decent bearish close. We have not been able to get through 214.19. So I think we're opening into a little bit of resistance slightly above us. To the point where even though your risk reward is probably in the bullish direction, I think I'd be leaning bearish. I just don't know how much I could get from this trade. But watch 206.64. If this thing starts coming down, that would probably be your trade from open at least. You're getting about $6. But your stop is going to be 218.47. Now you got about $5 that you're risking to get to six, maybe on a good day. So I think the better trade would be let Tesla do its thing. Um, See if it could get to like 217.93 or down to this 206, because then at least you have some better risk reward in either direction. So right now we're kind of dead smack in the middle. I got a lot of resistance above us. That was a decent sell-off candle that we had yesterday. Um, Most likely, at least from this open, I think we probably come a little bit lower. And I think we probably could snag it at that 206.64 zone, also lining up with that 200 on the EMAs. So I probably wouldn't be day trading it until it moved first, and then probably try to trade that. Jeff says Meta has oops. Meta. As we trace back to yesterday's open during after hours and pre-market. Retrace back to yesterday's open. Yep. But if you think about it, so did a spy. Did the same thing. Mm, what I will say is if we start breaking above this candle here, and I'm not saying that we're running bullish, but if we start breaking and closing anywhere above 537.81, the next little target you have is 539.17. But real target would probably take you to about 540.70 all the way to potentially 541.50. So there's not a lot of volume here. You have a lot of support. I'd probably actually be okay going bullish on this one. Something like this. Bullish entry. Again, the whole market though is opening at resistance. Taking this breakout would be okay. The other thing that you could probably do too, and you're taking some of that breakout factor away. The closer, honestly, you can get to 535.88, the better. But that was your breakout. That was your kind of support check. You're somewhere. I would almost do this. I'm not going to take this one. I'm going to wait and see because your confirmation is somewhere breaking above here, this current candle that we had. And then as long as you get your stop in somewhere down here, that's probably how I would try it. Something to that extent. This stop would be a little lower, actually. I got one more untested VPOC, 535.19. So we'll get below that one. I'm gonna again just give this one a couple minutes, but we'll see. We will see. Uber, yeah. So Uber had some news, which you guys pointed out when we were hosting the live on YouTube last night. You guys were like, what? What about the Uber news? I'm like, what? What news? I don't know. But yeah, they did a deal with Cruise to do autonomous driving. Again, I think it's only really legal in some states, like three states right now. I don't know how much that's really going to affect Uber. I'm sure decent, and then if that's like the sign of things to come, great. But they're gapping down on that news. I don't. We talked about this before, and we were, and the problem is we did already retest it, but we were sitting last night around 72.05. I can't figure out why Uber's down on the news. That being said, it doesn't have to go higher. This is a double top on a daily, and I think we're starting to look more at that double top. So watch the zone here, the $72 mark. I think if we start breaking that down, yes, we have some support below us. I think the next target maybe for today is about $70.96. If that breaks down, I would be looking for like a $69 move. I don't think the news really, I don't really quite get why they're down. Honestly, I'm like, that doesn't seem like a bad deal. I'm not really sure. Lucian pointed out though, there could be maybe some concerns of like if they get into autonomous driving, maybe that does open them up for some future legal lawsuits and things like that. So maybe that plays into it, but that's the only thing I could really see why the market wouldn't like that deal. Because it sounds like they'll probably make more money without the drivers, I would assume. I don't know. But this one, yeah, watch support at least the 72.05 and then resistance, which I think we did get to pre-market somewhere up in the 73.32 zone. So be cautious of that one. We got this market opening up exactly 1 minute from now. So everybody on YouTube land, make sure you guys hit that like and subscribe button. Otherwise, you guys are awesome. I will catch you guys later. And keep in mind, we do have Jerome Powell today as well. 10 a.m. that starts. Make sure you're conscious of that, aware of that for when he comes in.